We know that transformations in Dragon Ball games have always been iconic and fundamental for the good development of the gameplay, but for fan acceptance and for the balance of the competition in these fighting and arena fighter games, broken transformations will never go unnoticed, but for some reason almost no one realizes when a transformation is really bad. Maybe they get blinded by its physical appearance and not by its performance. After the last update that Sparking Zero had with its second DLC, it's time for us to make a new ranking. These are the 10 worst transformations in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I remind you that this ranking is a personal opinion and that seeing a character you like here doesn't mean you should feel offended. And by the way, the characters don't have a specific order, which doesn't mean that number 1 is the worst transformation in the game. They are simply the 10 that I consider the worst ones. It's a matter of taste and perspective that often affects the game's performance. Now, let's get started. Number 10. GT Goku Super Saiyan 3. I didn't think that a character like this could be in a top of worst transformations, when the design of the Super Saiyan 3 has always been of my like, but let's remember that we're talking about his performance in the game, which on this opportunity is not very favorable. When transforming in Super Saiyan 3 he loses his two complementary abilities of Wild Sense and Maximum Power, and replaces them with High Tension and Saiyan Spirit. I mean, they are changing an instant sparking and a free escape from a combo for two buff abilities. That's simply not right. Adding that his consecutive energy volley technique is one of the worst ones in the game. It's very slow and still has a lot of recovery frames, leaving you sold for a long time. At least he has the Kamehameha and the Dragon Fist rush attack. Number 9. Adult Super Saiyan Gohan. This melee character is not bad, but in this transformation he lacks finisher options for his combos. He has the consecutive energy volley that we already know is mediocre, and this energy wave, a Masenko wannabe that has no range at all, leaving you unable to take advantage of your opponent's mistakes with great damage. It's true that his ultimate is unblockable and he has the explosive wave ability, but for me it doesn't make up for how bad his other two techniques are. I'm sorry, but it doesn't fit my playstyle. Number 8. Master Roshi Full Power. We know that Master Roshi has lower life bars than many other characters in the game. In addition, he deals little damage, and that doesn't change just by giving him more muscles. His complementary abilities are False Courage and Pump Up, which do not help much to make him a more viable character. Don't get me wrong, I love Master Roshi as a character in the series, and from time to time I choose him to play occasionally. And although his lightning and rush techniques are kind of decent, his lack of damage per hit and combos optimization to defend against the toughest on the roster leave him in this position for me. Number 7. Third Form Frieza. I loved using this character in Tenkaichi 3. His speed made a lot of dissonance with how bulk he looks, and I loved it. The issue with this version of Frieza in Sparking is that his techniques don't take advantage of his abilities. What are these energy blasts? What the hell? The most notable thing is his rush attack as an ultimate, which is better than the one he had in Tenkaichi 3. But well, the blasting wave I suppose is fine. High Tension is already a bit unnecessary. This is a transformation that is very overlooked in Frieza's metamorphosis cycle. It doesn't have anything especially terrible, but it doesn't have anything that makes him stand out either. Number 6. Transform Zarbon. This is one of the only transformations that turn a mediocre character into a more or less viable one. Zarbon already transformed has a damage increase of almost 1000 points in his neutral combo. On the other hand, his High Tension and False Courage techniques are not very good. There's no Wild Sense, an instant sparking, a Sansoken, an explosive wave, nothing usable competitively speaking. The ultimate has no range at all, you have to stay stuck to the opponent. His grab becomes quite slow, respecting how robust he becomes in the series, but for fighting performance you can't get too much out of it. Number 5. Piccolo Unleashed Potential. Unfortunately, the unleashed potential of superhero Piccolo, no matter how cool I think his appearance is not a very good transformation. Although he has wild sense, his special techniques are made up of a throwing object, a rush attack which is decent, but an ultimate of Makanko Sapo that looks incredible but has very little tracking. This transformation for me is the perfect example of those that offer more conditions than benefits to the player. Piccolo is my favorite Dragon Ball character, but it's a shame that competitively speaking, he doesn't stand out in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If you're tired of games being too expensive, at Instant Gaming you can buy all the games you want at an incredible price. You even have the option to get pre-orders and gift cards with a big discount. I've been using it for several years now, and here are my latest purchases to show you guys that is completely legit. Cheap, fast and safe. You can check it out in the link I leave you in the description down below. That would be a huge support for the channel. Let's get back to the video. Number 4. Mini Super Saiyan Vegeta. So recent and so early in a top. It turns out that this Vegeta is worse than his base version. I mean, it makes no sense to transform. The first Super Saiyan loses the insect healing ability that the base version has, so that's a huge negative point. He changes his energy ball for a consecutive energy blast that seriously nobody wants. I don't understand why would you change the base Vegeta for the Super Saiyan Vegeta of this version of Daima. Personally, I would prefer to use Super Saiyan 2 and then go to 3 to see a higher performance. Even though the Super Saiyan has the Sansoken, after the nerf that was given to it, it doesn't make up for all the other flaws that this transformation has. Number 3. Giant Slug. The giant characters were safe until now, because in Sparking Zero they apply a tremendous pressure with their attacks, unlike what happened in Tenkaichi 3. But Slug is a separate matter. His abilities take almost no advantage of the great range that a giant character has. The rush attacks with the Z-dash are non-existent, the grab is super slow and almost never connects with the opponent's hitbox, and his Dark Laser side special technique is super slow and with many recovery frames. While Slug is one of the worst characters in the game in his base form, he is still one of them in his giant form. Number 2. Super Saiyan Goten. It seems like I've had a thing set up for this kid for a while, but hey, Spike always manages to make sure he never has any abilities that stand out. The only thing I rescue from Goten is his unblockable ultimate, but nothing beyond that. He simply has very low health and does very little damage. The range of his hits is very limited, especially when trying to win the neutral against taller characters. Goten in his base version doesn't gain much when transforming into Super Saiyan. And number 1. Majuub. Let me explain. The normal Oob is already a tremendous character. He's really good. Instant Sparking, very good damage, Wild Sense, he's a powerhouse. But although his transformation when fusing with Boo is still good, he already loses many of the factors that made him a top tier for me. He no longer has Instant Sparking, now he has a paralysis skill and another combo breaker. Plus, they put that dirty consecutive energy volley on him. That technique is really awful. Otherwise, the moveset is fine. In the absence of other transformations that I actually consider bad, this one ends up being in the top practically by discard, and because it turns a very good character into another who is simply average to all the other fighters. And you guys, let me know in the comments what are the worst transformations for you in Sparking Zero. I'll be reading your opinions. That was all for today, and I'll be watching you in the next video. Take care and see ya!